And in the evening, there was information that Putin's residence was on fire in Altai. Photos appeared on Telegram of what it looked like. This residence is located in the Ongudai district of the Altai Republic. As you can see, one of the buildings burned down almost completely. This was reported by the Sirena Telegram channel with reference to the pictures of bloggers who came up somewhere and managed to take a picture of this building. What you need to understand is that the building on the territory of the residence burnt down. In fact, officially, it is the Altai Yard sanatorium complex owned by Gazprom. But for ordinary Russians, it is, of course, closed, and Putin often has a rest there. Information about classified construction in the area appeared back in 2010. About 3 billion rubles were spent on this project. Local opposition figures have repeatedly talked about the connection of this complex with Putin. Another interesting fact about this complex is that it is slightly burnt, as we can see, and the media say that the complex includes a special farm with a farm where deer antler extract is extracted. That's not how you heard. That's right. And so, as the Russian media wrote earlier, Putin is somewhat interested in alternative medicine. He is generally interested in many non-traditional medicines, but in particular, in alternative medicine, and he likes to bathe in these extracts on the territory of this complex. Investigators reported in 2022 that Putin was accompanied on trips by 10 doctors to this resort. He himself is interested in this alternative medicine and takes baths from deer antler extract, in particular in Altai, in this residence. As you can see, this residence suffered a little, quite seriously. One of the buildings was almost completely burnt down. There is no official information about what happened there. All you've just seen are photos of local bloggers who came up somewhere and were able to take pictures of the fire that was going on there. What really happened, whether it was arson, or some kind of short circuit, or something else is unknown. It is unlikely, let's say, that the official Russian authorities will comment on what happened to the reindeer in Altai at Putin's residence.
We are talking about such a solution, an extract from the antlers of young deer. They even say, at least there, that various publications in Russia claim that it was Shoigu who got Putin hooked on this type of therapy and rejuvenation. Who knows, it is very difficult to verify this version. Now we see that Shoigu suffers a little from various repressions in his environment, the entourage of the former leadership of the Ministry of Defense. Maybe Putin will now refuse to bathe in such baths. Maybe he decided to break with the past and set fire to his residence himself so that his feed would no longer be there. Well, all of this, of course, is a joke. Let's move on to more serious topics. When the Russian Kerch Bridge across the Kerch Strait to our Crimea is under threat of destruction, the enemy understands this very well, and now we see that the probability of hitting the crossing of the Kerch Strait is increasing. We can see this from yesterday's attack, just at the ferry crossing near Kerch. For a long time, the Russians have been preparing for themselves various alternative opportunities for delivering ammunition and manpower to the front in the Ukrainian south, in the Azov region. To do this, a railway was launched near Mariupol, towards Volnovakha, towards the west to Melitopol and north to Donetsk. At what stage of this project we will continue to talk with Dmitro Zabavin, a deputy of the Mariupol City Council, on our air. Dmitro, greetings to you, good morning and glory to Ukraine.
Good morning, glory to the heroes.
Thank you for responding to our invitation. So, again, new, fresh publications have appeared about how the enemy is progressing in the preparation of railway lines in the Donetsk region, in the south of the Donetsk region. What can we say now? Are some areas near the front of this railway really working, or are the occupiers trying to transport something on it? If we take into account this assumption that, at least in the near future, strikes on the Kerch Bridge may be carried out, is the enemy ready for an alternative? Can they fully use the railway, in particular near Mariupol?
The occupiers are very concerned about the situation, and we see this from the reports of Mariupol residents regarding the congestion of the main artery. This is a highway from the Novozovsk district through the Rostov region, through Mariupol, then to Melitopol, to the Vuhledar direction. Accordingly, let's say, the occupiers are very concerned about the situation that is happening, so they are now using the roads at full capacity, as much as possible. As for the railway connection, they have a maximum task of 2 branches, to restore the junction that already existed and was damaged as a result of the Russian invasion, that is, as a result of the Russians destroying the infrastructure themselves. What you are showing now, that is, the old branch and the new branch, one of them actually runs next to the front line. Let's just say, and many spokespersons for the Ukrainian armed forces have emphasized, that it is unclear what the occupiers are hoping for. If the Ukrainian side can hit far into the rear of the occupiers, then what runs alongside the contact line can be destroyed very easily.
Далеко у тил окупантам, то те, що проходить поряд з лінією розмежування, відповідно, може бути знищено дуже легко.